The artists who make a career out of it are the ones who are willing to be seen. Far too many artists think that their art needs to be perfect in order to make a career out of it. The artists who make a career out of it are the ones who are willing to be seen. I feel like I talk to artists all day who say that they're stuck because they don't know how to post, or they're stuck when it comes to posting. And this is because they feel like they need to be good enough. They are waiting on the inside for their art to be perfect, or for this idea that they have of what their socials should look like, of what their accounts should look like, of what the content should look like, and they won't post it until it looks like that. They feel like they aren't good. They aren't good in front of the camera, aren't good at writing captions. They aren't good at social media. Last but certainly not least, they're afraid of the judgment that comes along with posting to social media, whether that's from other artists, or whether that's from colleagues, whether that's from people in their life in general, or just the hater on the internet that no one can get rid of. And it's so funny to me because now social media feels so organic and feels so authentic, the way that I post and the way that I share, when I can remember not too long ago literally sitting in bed and just going back and over and over and over and just sitting there. I can remember 3 years ago when I was sitting in my studio in my basement and I wrote down that I wanted to finally break 2,000 followers so bad because I was stuck already for years at 2,000, or right under 2,000. But what actually changed my content or changed my approach to social wasn't my talent. It also wasn't my art. It was actually posting. It was visibility. It was being seen finally, because I was willing to open up and share. Finally made the decision to make a new art account. I scrapped the old one. You don't necessarily need to do that, but I scrapped my old one and I started a new one. I made the account and started posting every single day. You'll always hear people talk about how consistency is key, but I want to try to level with you on that right here. Consistency isn't key because you should have a 700-day posting streak or because you never miss a Monday. It's not just for the pure numbers. Consistency is key for 2 reasons. One, and probably the more important of the 2, it's going to desensitize you. Every single barrier to entry that we talked about beforehand, as far as why people are afraid of posting on social media in the first place, is because we're super sensitive to all of those reasons. If they didn't really matter that much to us, we would recognize that they're there, but then we would move past them. One, it desensitizes you to being seen. The way that I used to go over and over again about, should I post this, or what are my friends from high school gonna think? What's my family gonna think? What are my siblings gonna think? What are my new friends gonna think? Now when I post purely for what I would want, which we'll get into later, but what I would watch. And I post because social media now exists in its own world, in its own realm. And number 2, it is the quickest way to get feedback on what works. It's a numbers game, so it's putting out 100 variants and seeing what works. So out of these 100 tries, did 2 of these pop? Did 50 of these pop? Were those 50 similar to each other? The reason that this feedback is important is because it's going to teach us what works and what doesn't work much quicker, how we would learn if we posted when we felt like it, when we were ready, over and over and over again. Because what you'll realize is the internet isn't looking for perfection. The internet is looking for authenticity. Who is the internet? We are the internet. I am the internet. You are the internet. You're watching this on the internet. That is why consistency works. This is exactly how I found my niche. I posted every single day. No specific way of going about it. Sometimes I had video ideas, other times I didn't, and I just had to make a video. And no matter what, a post would go up. And then over time, I looked at what worked, I looked at what didn't work, I looked at what people commented on, what they didn't comment on, what was shareable and what wasn't shareable, and I studied that and moved forward from it. So you're probably asking yourself now, where do I start today? I'm gonna give you a couple of actual actionable tips. The number 1 question, if you get anything from this video, when it comes to social, I want you to ask yourself, what do I watch? We all consume. When I open my phone, what holds my attention? And be able to dissect your own brain and look at it that way. The biggest mistake that I see is that people are sharing, and I need this forever. So often we look at socials and we think about, what do I want to share? What do I want to share today? but it's super, super selfish. The way that I found that I built community and actually connected with people through the internet, when I started asking myself, what do I watch? Naturally, the elements of what I wanted to share came through there. Rather than me sitting you down and showing you the painting behind me that I made, talking about why I made it, why it's special to me, or why this mattered to me, I would make a video, I completely copied that painting. That's something interesting that people would be like, oh, you did that? Can you do that? Just, it's an example of an angle, but finding an angle of what I want to watch, what I would consume. When I'm editing my videos back, I always, when my assistant will send me something and I'm looking back at the edit, I'm always thinking, am I bored yet? Like, am I bored yet? Or is this something that I want to watch? And then when I send it back to her, I say, would you watch this? Like, is this something that you would watch? Or are you getting bored? Where are you getting bored? You edit your videos rather than treating it like your little prized baby of what you're so happy about. Think about it in a way that reflects what you would watch. Other actionable tips that will be helpful. Number one, document everything. Everything is interesting and everything is content. Document your process and post about your process. This is what people find interesting. And another tip for artists, I think that this can be hard, more so when I'm talking to older artists who didn't necessarily grow up sharing on social media. Stop separating art from business. Bring them together and treat your art like it is a business. Social media has the power to change everything for artists, but only for the artists who choose to show up.